the yentas on The View were throwing down yesterday morning. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been telling you guys about the ongoing civil war that's going on throughout the mainstream media. We saw another example of this vicious battle yesterday morning on The View. Since the debate 2 weeks ago, Big Red Joy Behar, she has been on what executives at ABC are calling a vacation. Let me translate that for you. When most people think of summer vacations, they think of a week at the beach, or maybe a brutal week at Disney World in Orlando where you spend hours waiting in line exchanging sweat with the people standing next to you. Vacations on The View, they're a bit different. When ABC says that Big Red went on vacation, it means that she spent the week at Woke Memorial Hospital under the care of pretend Dr. Jill Biden, where pretend Dr. Jill was given the impossible task of making an 81-year-old woman appear to be 79. But as I'm watching this segment yesterday, I kept getting this feeling that Joy Behar was jealous. She seemed to be experiencing symptoms common with patients who are diagnosed with stage 4 OMB. Orange Man Bad! Big Red, she seemed to be experiencing the classic symptom of FOMO, fear of missing out. As you guys know, the lovely ladies on The View, they enjoy basking in the aroma that can only be provided by Karen, who is better known here on the channel as the Whoopee Cushion. Monday morning, after she spent the week of July 4th refilling her toxic gas tank, the Whoopee Cushion, she was unleashing boodle breeze that was so powerful, the carbon monoxide detectors were going off. Now, when normal people hear the alarm of carbon monoxide detectors, we get the hell out of there. Not the lonely women who watch The View. When they hear the alarms going off, they rush to the scene hoping to get a whiff of the boodle breeze. But unfortunately for Big Red, she was absent Monday morning when the Whoopee Cushion hiked her leg and shared this.
I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go. I have poopy days all the time. I step in so much poo you can't even imagine.
If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Also, link for channel memberships in the description below. Eldon McDonald, Stephen Lott, thank you guys for becoming parishioners in the past week. If you want to support the channel and join our daily discussions on Discord, sign up to become a member. Now, clearly, Joy Behar was upset that she missed experiencing this record-breaking boodle breeze in person Monday morning. As a result of this overwhelming jealousy, Joy Behar, she decided to unleash some bitterness of her own. There was just one small problem. Normally, feelings of anger and bitterness, they are validated on The View. If one yenta is feeling bitter, another cast member is right there to comfort her, sharing in her feelings of bitterness and absolute misery. But for some reason, the other women were in a pleasant mood yesterday morning, and they were taken aback by this rage coming from Big Red. This refusal to share the feelings of bitterness, it resulted in, I guess, what you would call a minor catfight. They were interrupting each other. At one point, one of the anonymous cast members, she was injecting some truth into the conversation, which resulted in Big Red cutting her off and telling her she wasn't done talking, even though millions of people have been clamoring for years for Joy Behar to shut the hell up. But Joy Behar, she wants you to know that she's mad. I am so bitter. I'm tired of this Biden bashing. Why are these identifiers turning on our fearless leader? What is so bad about a president who struggles to speak the English language? I'm sick of it, son Hostin. I'm tired of it, Arnold Navarro. Oh, my name is Ann. It doesn't matter what your name is. During this tirade, we saw a rare glimpse of honesty from the great pretender Alyssa the Farah Griffin. Matter of fact, I think Joy Behar was confused by this. Big Red, she's upset because many deacons at Woke United Methodist are asking Johnny B. Biden to step aside and let cackling Cam Harris finish steering the Titanic into the iceberg. Joy Behar, She was wondering why Republicans aren't asking the Trumper to do the same thing, step aside. Well, KC, why in the hell would anyone ask Trump to step aside? I know it's illogical, but you gotta remember, this is The View. All logic and reason evaporate as soon as you enter this toxic studio. As Joy Behar continued to ask why normal people aren't asking the Trumper to step aside, Alyssa Griffin, she raises her hand and says, I have been demanding that Trump step aside for the last 4 years. I understand why Joy Behar was confused. She was asking why Republicans aren't asking Trump to step aside. She was asking why normal people were still supportive of the Trumper. Obviously, the Great Pretender, she's not classified as either one of those. This segment was just another example of why this show is an absolute embarrassment. It was bad enough Monday morning when the whoopee cushion admitted on national television that she can't control her flatulence, but that was at least a pleasant segment. That segment was filled with happiness and joy. I mean, who doesn't enjoy listening to their grandmother talking about getting drunk on the prune juice and explaining what happens afterwards? But the segment yesterday morning, it was filled with catfighting, constant interruptions, and a complete lack of logic. Watch for yourself.
And I'm a little tired of all the Biden bashing that's going on. No calls for the sexually abusive felon to step down.
Yeah. That's actually not true, though.
Oh, come on. I don't see anybody in the right wing telling Trump,
I've been doing it for 4 years. I testified against him. The fact that the public decided not to agree with it, I can't help. But there are so many people who've said he's unfit.
What Republican is asking that he step down? Tell me.
There's a bunch of disenfranchised Republicans.
You guys are segueing right into
and wait, I'm not finished. Well, let's go back to the debate for a second, all right? Everybody keeps calling it a disaster, a disaster. You know why Trump was better at it? Because he lies. He practiced his lies for 2 or 3 years already.
You know what stuck out to me the most when watching that segment? It wasn't Alyssa Griffin and her inability to name a single Republican who has asked Trump to step down. I'm used to the women on this show never providing evidence to back up their baseless claims. It wasn't the anonymous blonde trying to provide actual examples of Republicans who I guess are disenfranchised with the Trumper, and Joy Behar immediately cutting her off because she's allergic to the truth. Do not embarrass me on national television by pointing out my lies. You are not going to become known by embarrassing Big Red. It wasn't even the fact that Sun Hostin, and I didn't show you guys this part, but later in the segment, Sun Hostin, she is pledging her devotion to John Biden and demanding that he tell his dwindling supporters that I'm old and I'm not as sharp as I used to be, but that's okay because Audrey and Bad is a threat to democracy. You know what stuck out to me the most? Josephine Victoria Achiotu, better known as Big Red or Joy Behar. She's 81 years old. She's going to be 82 in October, meaning she is 1 month older than our fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden. Joy Behar might be illogical. Joy Behar might preach from the woke Bible. She might make no sense when she's talking, but you know what? At least I comprehend what she's saying. You know why I can make fun of Joy Behar? Because I understand what the hell she's talking about. At 81 years old, Joy Behar is just as painfully boring as she was at 31. Now compare Big Red to Johnny B. Biden. Hell, Big Red, she would have been better competition at the debate for Donald Trump. The reason I'm pointing this out, it is not about the age of John Biden. The people in the woke media, they're trying to get John Biden to step aside and give his incompetence to Cam Harris. They keep talking about his age, but it has nothing to do with age. Bill O'Reilly, 74, still sharp. Trumper, he's in his late 70s. Is he as sharp as he was 8 years ago? Absolutely not. But compared to John Biden, Trump is a Rhodes Scholar. It's not about the age of Johnny B. Biden. It is about his ability or lack thereof. If Johnny B can't handle a debate, if he can't handle a softball interview with George Katsopoulos on ABC, how is he going to handle the pressure of making decisions that affect millions of people? If John Biden's in bed at 8 o'clock every night, who's taking the call? Who's making the decisions? When it's bedtime in America, it's morning in Mother Russia. It's daytime in Beijing. Joy Behar is almost 82 years old, and even though she's a propagandist, at least she still has the ability to speak coherently. John Biden no longer has that ability. Nothing against him personally. There's no shame in getting older. The problem, though, for deacons at Woke United Methodist, and I think this is the reason that the Yentas on The View are supporting John Biden, it is too late to change directions. You can't go with Cam Harris. She's the most unpopular vice president in recent history. When she was running for president, the approval rating for Cam Harris, it was in the single digits. Deacons, they created this mess, and now they're coming to the harsh realization that they're stuck with it. All right, before I head to lunch, I wanted to thank you guys one more time for getting the channel past 100,000 subscribers. I received my silver play button last week from YouTube. I haven't decided yet where I'm going to put it on the shelves behind me. It should probably go right here where this curtain is, but I don't know. I don't know if I can replace the curtain. Those of you who have been following the channel for years now, I'm sure you guys remember the curtains. The curtain to me is a reminder. When I see the curtain every day, it reminds me of how far we have come. When I changed backdrops from the curtain to the current setup, I think it was April of 2022. At the time, I think we had 20,000 subscribers. 2 years later, we passed 100,000. And if we keep this current pace, we should pass 200,000 by next year. The only reason the channel continues to grow is because of all of you guys. Every day, I see people complaining in one of the YouTube partner forums that I'm in. They're complaining about the algorithms. They're claiming that YouTube has shadow banned them. They come up with all these excuses as to why their channels are not growing. But you know why most of them don't grow? They don't have a base audience. All they're worried about is going viral, getting attention, instead of focusing on the small group of people that's actually watching them. I remember when I was starting out, I wanted to build a base audience of 100 people. If I could focus on those 100 people and make content they liked, then those 100 people, they would share it with another 100 people. Those 200 would share it with another 200. Now the channel gets shared tens of thousands of times every month. YouTube, they change the algorithm all the time. Doesn't matter. If you have a strong base audience, algorithm changes are irrelevant because the algorithm, it always checks for the same thing: engagement, average watch time, like to view ratio, click-through rate, comments, and every day you guys nail every single metric. Thank you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys carrying the channel. You guys are the reason the channel continues to grow. There have been many times over the years where things would naturally slow down on YouTube, impressions would decline, whatever the case may be, and I would think it's all over. Thought I would hit my peak and that's as good as it's going to get. Sometimes the decline would last for a few days, other times it's lasted for weeks, but because you kept showing up every day and kept liking and commenting on every video, the next growth surge would appear. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to quit my job 3 years ago. The other day, we were at my sister's for the 4th of July, and my cousin, he brought up the channel. He was asking how everything was going, and he ended up asking what I would do if I had to go back to work. I told him I couldn't do it. Now, obviously, I would if I had to, but it would be incredibly difficult. It has been so long that I have gotten used to living life on my terms that I don't know if I could return to working for someone else. Now, my wife, she stepped in and said if something ever happened to the channel, God forbid, that she would carry the financial burden until I built another audience. That's the kind of wife you want. I get all the credit, but she really is the unsung hero. These shelves behind me, this setup, That's all her and my mother-in-law. I'm useless. I am completely useless. The only thing I can do with a hammer is break my own finger. My wife takes care of everything that people don't notice, people don't see. And it's the same thing with you guys. I get credit for growing the channel, but it's not me. It's you. So getting this silver play button from YouTube, the credit really goes to you guys, because without you, I would just be another channel with six-figure subscribers and triple-digit view counts. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate your support. But anyway, give me your thoughts on the Yentas from The View, and I'll see you guys later.